Hello from Minsk. This is a podcast Pigeon of Peace where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooters. Watch, listen, and check the description below for the details. Let's talk about artistic weapons and let's start with the definition.
Artistic weapons is weapons which was never used for martial arts or in the battle. Sometimes it could be put on the wall, sometimes it's could be kept in the corner of the castle, but it is just to show that owner is aristocrat or has the money to produce it. Sometimes it's also referred to special kind of weapon which are no longer used at this territory. For example, it could be nunchaki or some swords or even katanas. And previously it was made from steel and it was ready to use, or you could make photos. Right now, more often it would be printed on the 3D printers and could be made from plastic or another kind of 3D models. For example, it should be used for video games and filming production when this special artists which are hired to make capturing of their movements would use this weapon just to show how it would be imitated inside the game.
And if we take it piece by piece, so for example, let's say maybe we would look into the decorative purpose of this. So if let's say we want to, make our house or maybe certain environment look better, and if we want to pick the weapon, so at certain point of time, yes, we could buy it to some out of all of the like a cheap shops, and pick things that maybe like look good. But if someone who knows the weapons, who at least like knows the materials, will come and they will see that this is not so cool. So how do we approach to like picking the right item and putting them into the right place so that we get the right effect?
I'll tell you the story. I have been to one cabinet of high official in the Ukraine, and this was a nice furnished room and huge boards and shelves with books. And all of these books were made as ideal. And first, my idea was maybe it's just imitation, maybe this not a real book. And I just opened the door of this cupboard, and I was trying to take this book from the shelf. Suddenly, it was an owner who was entering the room, and I'm saying, "Oh, come on, sorry, I like books, so I want to touch them." And suddenly he laughed and say, "You would be not able to take them out." And then he showed me all of these books where I don't know how to say, like a shampoo inside of the book. It was a huge, how to say it, bolt.
Or like a, mm, I would
Special
say like a,
wire,
yeah, still
special
stick.
wire, cell stick, and from both sides it would be fixed with I don't know how to say nuts. It's okay to say nuts,
Yeah, nuts and bolts.
nuts and bolts, and so it's in ideal order. But those books were never in use and couldn't be in use. And there is even a special word for this imitation in Russian. It's called kitsch. I don't know. The same would be, for example, in Chinese. I don't know how it would be in English. Maybe the same. So it should be. It could be also kitsch in artistic weapons. For example, when you see this word, but this word intended to be held by two hands, but it would, for example, have a weight like 100 kilo. Yes, you could try to lift it up, but you wouldn't be able, and no one would be able. To be honest, if you'll go several centuries ago, you'll find that people would a bit lower than we are. For example, right now, it's quite usual to have a height 175 centimeters, but previously it would be like 159, 55. So this sword was not intended to be used in battle. This is, I don't know how to say, just для устрашения.
Or I would say to provide the fear, to fear
To
someone.
provide or seed the fear. Yeah, thank you. So, and another example, sometimes you will see knights shells. It's okay to say
Knights
dоспехи,
armors.
knights armors, and it would be a story that this owner of this castle was winning a lot of battles, but then you will find that there are no scratch on these armors. So if if they would be in use, they would be quite damaged. If they are not in use, they are made for parade or just to impress the women.
And when from the home decoration, we'll go to, let's say, more performance wise purposes. So for example, let's say if we do sci-fi movie or if we do a historical movie, we probably may not want to use something real, something that actually could, damage people. And if we want to pick artistic weapon, what kind of qualities we need to consider to make sure that whoever will be watching this afterwards will be under impression that is like 100% real?
There are several territories which have some special procedures. For example, if you will take Japanese kenjutsu, it could be decorated with color of imperator's colors. And if you will put this in your room and you are Japanese, it would hurt the heart of people who would attend your office. If, for example, you will use some Korean kind of unique or visually interested design swords and so on, then you will find that not sword by itself, but ножны, clutch.
Probably clutch.
Clutch is more important. And for example, if you have tigers and dragon, it means that this is highly valued weapon. Sometimes, for example, if you will use like Iranian, I don't know how to say, sable, sable,
Saber.
Saber, there would be some words on it. For example, great Allah, or I do not fear nobody, or for example, my life belongs to the God, something like this. And if there are no such compulsory or obligatory points, this meaningless to collect it. For example, some people collect island weapon, especially Fiji or some other Micronesia tribes weapon, and this would be made from very special wood and teeth of the sharks, crocodiles, and some other fishes.
And if we speak about the weapon that never exists in this life, but let's say we want to build something to showcase somewhere. So what might be the approach? For example, from what I know, there's I think it's an American brand of the guns called Nerf. It's mostly like for the kids. It's would shot like with a very soft bullets. But from what I know, those people actually would buy those guns more like futuristic looking, and they would try to, decorate them or add some elements, add some like industrial things so that it could be look like as it from the future. So if let's say we want to actually create an artistic weapon, what kind of approaches we may want to take again, like to make sure that like it will serve its purpose?
Sometimes people would collect weapons which was never exist, as you told, and they, for example, would collect Thor X. It's okay to say more Thor
Hammer.
Thor hammer, thank you. Or for example, it would be some spear, even spear which was used for hurting Jesus, and it could be also daggers, knives. It could be tonfa. Tonfa, it's a so-called special kind of dubinka.
Club.
Thank you, club.
Same as a club.
And it could be crossbow, it could be a boomerang. By the way, I have been to Australia and I have seen a lot of different boomerangs. And by the way, not all of them would be returning, and they're not all of them just made like a curve. Sometimes they would be made, for example, even from 2 or 3 pieces, and it could be also some kind of chain weapons. It could be ropes, it could be tabak tayot, it could be slapjack, it would be armors and shields also.
And then my last question will be how knowing about artistic weapons would help to make this world a better place.
Sometimes I have seen people collecting armor which was taken from the ground or bought after the filming of such a movie, like even Jedi's. and they are very proud of it. But who knows, is it original or not? If you know a lot of weapon, you could see the small points which would indicate is it is it worth to buy or not. Sometimes you could go for pawn shop to ask people if it worth something, or you could make photos and put on some forums, and you could give a reward for person who will give you some small consultation. But in most cases you will find that everything you bought from Africa or Indonesia or Thailand, it is just pieces of wood and pieces of metal which are connected but has no artistic value. But if you want just to decorate your room and it would be not visited but special people who knows about weapon, it's okay. But if you are a wealth person and you want to impress someone, to show that you are able to gain very unique objects, then you should have consultant or know about it as your own.
And we review the skill of artistic weapons and how it could be helpful for you. Stay in peace.